Yeah, there'd be 70,000, 80,000, and they'll all be willing Colombia to do well tonight, because, as you say, I hope the two teams do go for it, try to avoid Brazil, and it'll make for an exciting prospect.
OK. Is the home crowd going to help them, or will it make them freeze? Will Chile be too hot?
Well, a draw will suit Chile, won't it? So I think they might get a draw out of it.
And for you, Ian?
I'm going for Colombia. I keep up my very poor record so far.
I know you've been impressed as well by Yepes.
Yepes, for me, has been the best defender in the tournament. Him and Cordoba, who plays in Inter Milan, who's very uncompromising. But Yepes' timing and awareness of when he makes tackles, he seems to read the game ever so well. I wouldn't say he's outstanding pace, but you know, when a defender reads the game as well as Yepes does, and understand that a few are looking at him to maybe take him into Europe. So this is a big stage for him.
OK, Pacho Maturana, the coach of Colombia. He knows no fear, does it? It must be the hottest hot seat in the world, and it's his third spell as coach. He must be mad. Let's go to commentary action now. Gerry, Armstrong, and first, Ian Crocker.
Well, something's got to give in Barranquilla tonight, as Colombia and Chile aim to preserve 100% records in the Copa America. A draw would mean Chile topping the group, as they have a better goal difference, so Francisco Macherano's Colombia are more in need of a win, although these two teams are assured of a place in the quarterfinals one way or another. And that's perhaps a bit of a surprise for Pedro Garcia. His Chilean side lost 5 games in a row coming into this tournament. Nobody really gave them a chance, but I guess you could say that they, and Colombia certainly, potential winners of the whole thing.
I think they found their form, Ian, in the opening game against Ecuador, who are a good side. Ecuador, Chile, put 4 past them. Very impressed with the front two, Montesinos and Reynaldo Navia. Very good partnership. Looks as if they've got goals in that partnership, but it's all about what happens now. They're very relaxed, both have qualified. A little bit of pride at stake, and obviously one of these teams is going to top the group.
Colombia are ready to get us off and running in Barranquilla, in the Estadio Metropolitano. And there's a fantastic atmosphere here with the host nation in action once again in this Group A decider. Colombia and Chile both have 6 points out of 6. And Chile, in fact, are a bit of a bogey team for Colombia. They never do particularly well against them, especially in this tournament. In fact, Colombia's only success in 11 Copa America meetings with Chile came in 1979. So history is on the side of the Chileans.
Certainly is, Ian, and funnily enough, about 8 or 9 days after that 1-0 victory in the knockout stages, Colombia then turned around and beat Chile then turned around and beat Colombia by 2-0. So it's going to be an intriguing game here, a lot of pride at stake, and maybe a little pointer as to who might go on and maybe lift this trophy later on in the tournament.
Here's Hernandez. And this is a very neat move from Colombia. It's not going to bring them any reward just yet. They looked rather... well, they have got the corner, in fact.
Yeah, I thought it was a corner as well. It looked to me as if it came off Rojas last. Just clipped the top of his stand. It's a quick one taken.
Certainly not hanging around, Colombia. Hernandez. That's not a bad try. A very decent try from Ivan Lopez.
Well, that's just lifted over the top of the crossbar. Very positive start from Colombia, looking for the initiative, obviously looking to please this home crowd, and Chile on the back foot.
Lopez has made fleeting appearances in the international side this year, but he really made a name for himself then.
Certainly did, and he had Sergio Vargas scrambling across his goal.
Colombia hosting the Copa America for the very first time and hoping to win it for the very first time. This illustrious tournament has taken place 39 times in all, and the host nation has actually won it on 19 occasions. So can Colombia make it 20 out of 40? Lopez, who had the first attempt on goal, takes the throw. Colombia certainly look up for it. Rosales trying to get in, taken away from him though by Perez, and now a chance for Chile to break. Leading the charge for them was Rodrigo Valenzuela. He's got the free kick.
Yes, he was obstructed, and I suppose we've got to expect Colombia to put the pressure on. Chile just still trying to settle down. Don't want to concede an early goal, and well, the counter-attack's still very potent.
Galdames takes the free kick. Mauricio Pozo will be the man advancing Chile hope down that right-hand side. Only winning his third cap today, even though he's the age of 30. A few inexperienced internationals in all the squads, of course, in this Copa America.
We can see it's going to be fiercely contested here.
Draw, remember, and Chile would win the group. The incentive to win the group is that one of the best placed third teams will be waiting in the quarter-finals. Murillo is chasing that, putting Maldonado under pressure. Colombia yet to concede a goal in the Copa America, beating Venezuela 2-0 and Ecuador 1-0. Chile turning over Ecuador 4-1 in the very first game of the tournament, and then sneaking past Venezuela.
I think that opening game was a big shock to everybody. Ecuador got a very good record in the World Cup qualifiers, and a lot of people quite fancied them as an outside bet, but Chile really did dispatch them. They scored some superb goals. Montesinos helped himself to a brace.
Murillo. That will be a free kick for the nudge on Giovanni Hernandez, and the offender for Chile was Villaseca. It's been a fairly bright and breezy start from the host nation, and Hernandez will stand over the free kick. Sergio Vargas, Chile's keeper. Rosales delivered. Lopez. Chile without the suspended Luis Fuentes at the back today after he got 2 yellow cards in the first 2 games. Murillo took a little knock then. Here's Galdames for Chile. Number 11 is Valenzuela. And now Pozo wants to get forward. He's doing just that. Nicely taken by Eros Perez, but he was being closely watched. Now Colombia with a chance to break away with Freddy Grisales. Not sure if it was meant for Hernandez. He certainly couldn't bring it under control. Here's Pozo. Doesn't quite carry towards Montesinos, who has 3 goals so far. Well, 2 goals so far officially. This one against Venezuela might yet be ruled an own goal by the people in charge of the Copa America, but they haven't quite decided yet.
You asked him and he'll tell you he's got 3. Like every good striker, you claim every goal you can.
You'd have had about 100 less otherwise, wouldn't you?
I never scored 100.
Colombia went out at the quarter-final stage in the last 2 Copa Americas. They'll certainly be looking to improve on that, and they will be encouraged by some rather casual play from Chile. Here's Ivan Lopez. Aristizabal was waiting one side, Grisales this side. He scored their first goal in the tournament. This is Murillo. Ivan Lopez. They really look up for it, Colombia, as you would expect, I suppose, being the host in front of a big crowd in Barranquilla. Ramirez having a go. I think he's just clipped his man there, Valenzuela.
They're trying to weather the storm a little bit, Chile. I think they expected to be under the cosh. You're right, the initiative is definitely with Colombia as the host nation. They're really pushing the players forward, taking the game to Chile. And they look solid at the back, we've got to say as well. Colombia, not too many problems there. But still waiting. I think it's going to take 15-20 minutes before Chile can settle down in this game.
Hernandez. Aristizabal now, and Murillo didn't quite manage to do what he planned. Grisales. Oh, a lovely flick, and Hernandez trying to get in. Murillo was the man who set him up, but that's not bad either to Grisales, and a penalty, a handball, and Colombia with the chance to get off to a flyer in this Group A decider. The referee perfectly positioned. It's a penalty to the host nation as it hit the hand of Maldonado.
It did, it hit Maldonado, but if you look where his hands are up. If he keeps his hands down, the referee wouldn't have given the penalty kick, and I think it is the correct decision. But what a start to the game we're going to get here. It was Freddy Grisales, lovely control on his thigh, went to lob it over the top of Maldonado, and handball, penalty kick.
Well, Aristizabal has already scored from the spot in the Copa America against Venezuela.
You're just looking at it there, Ian. Watch his hands coming up. He's got to keep his hands down by his side. Once he raises that right hand, Maldonado, I think the referee's decision was made for him. And Senor Jorge Larionda has awarded the penalty kick, and I think it's quite correct.
Well, what a start this could be for Colombia. The atmosphere in Barranquilla was pretty good. It could be about to get better. Victor Aristizabal. He scored from the spot against Venezuela, and he scores very cheekily from the spot against Chile, and Colombia go 1-up.
Well, they've certainly applied the pressure, and the pressure has paid off. They've got the penalty kick. They've got the goal these fans and the players wanted, and I think deserved as well. Very positive start from Colombia. Can they build on it now, or shall we see a response from Chile? Oh, he's gone clever. He's gone really bravely. A little chip down the middle, anticipating the goalkeeper. Sergio Vargas was going to move one way or t'other. That's cool.
Well, the two top scorers in the Copa America are on show now, outright, with Aristizabal getting his third there. He got the winner against Ecuador. He scored one from the spot against Venezuela. Another penalty here against Chile. And we have Montesinos in the Chilean lineup, who is on 3 at the moment, although, as we mentioned, he might have one taken away from him, given as an own goal. Just one point about Aristizabal, though, who's certainly one of the star men for Colombia this tournament. He is on a yellow card, and if he gets another one in this game, he would miss the quarter-final.
Certainly would. That is something he has to be careful of. He's got to be walking a little bit of a tightrope in. But it's first blood to Colombia, and here's the response from Chile.
It's Montesinos, who was looking for his strike partner, Ronaldo Navia, but it's come all the way through to Pozo. Chile not only facing 11 Colombians here, they're facing a hugely partisan crowd in Barranquilla. And they are about as up fit as their team at the moment.
Certainly are. Well, this is a super penalty kick. You can see his body shape. He's always going to just chip it down the middle. As I said, anticipating Sergio Vargas moving one way or the other, and that's a coolly taken penalty kick.
Vargas made to look a bit of a dunce, and his expression said it all, really. Chile, though, looking to hit back straight away. And the flag is up, but Valenzuela is ready to give it his best shot.
asking for the trainer to come on. Well, let's have a look as Valenzuela winds up and has the shot. He certainly gets caught. But is there someone in an offside position? It looked to me as if it was Maldonado who was possibly offside. That's good to see Rodrigo Valenzuela back up on his feet. Linesman's flag went up very quickly, Ian, didn't it? That's what he's given.
Sure did. Chile, like Colombia, have never won the Copa America. Good teams in with a shout this year, though. Rio. So, surely going to be a free kick for Colombia. First card of the game is shown to Pozo.
And that's him on a tightrope. He was caught wrong side, Ian, and you can see the deliberate push, the deliberate foul. And he's paid the price. Fabian Vargas gets in front of him. It's a clumsy challenge from Mauricio Pozo.
So a yellow card for Chile's number 2. He will have to tread carefully now. Colombia might fancy their chances again as Cordoba comes up to muscle in. He plays his football with Inter Milan. Referee wasn't happy that the wall was back. It is back now, though. And well, never quite worked out for them, whatever they were planning.
I was going to say, it was very good on the training ground, but didn't quite come off today.
Here's Murillo, might have taken a bobble that as he launched it in towards Aristizabal. And the goalkeeper favourite to get to it, Sergio Vargas, and that time he did get the better of the penalty taker, Aristizabal.
It was a mismatch in. Once Sergio Vargas came out with his knee up, I think Victor Aristizabal decided it's your ball, pal.
Every pass being applauded by the Colombian fans. Here is Maldonado, who's very much a bright young thing in Chile. He's only 21 years of age. Here's again. But he's already playing his football in Brazil with Sao Paulo. Now Reyes has been caught in possession, and that could prove costly as Colombia go in search of a second. Ramirez gives it to Hernandez. Rizales. He might just get it back. He does. Ooh. Just couldn't quite get away from Eros Perez.
Some great play from Colombia. A lot of teams, when they score, Ian, take the lead, they want to sit back and try and defend the lead, but not this Colombian side. They are looking to score a second goal, and if they do score a second goal, I think it's going to be decisive.
Pozo, Crocker. Chile finding it hard to get into the game, but then it was never going to be easy against the hosts.
Great pressure being applied here. They're closing them down quickly, Colombia. They're not allowing them time on the ball. They're forcing the mistakes, and they've upped the tempo, and at the moment Chile can't live with them.
Here they go again, with Rizales trying to get in. He looks a player, scored a great goal against Venezuela.
Certainly does. It was he who won the penalty kick as well. But they've got a good squad. They've got some good players. They've got a good squad. Confidence has got to be high. They're certainly enjoying playing at home, Ian.
Perez has lost out to Grisales. Couldn't quite keep it in. That was a close one.
Certainly full of running, Grisales, and the front man Elkin Murillo, also big lad, chases everything. He'll chase paper, I'll tell you, this guy. And there's no way you can rest on your laurels at the back today for Chile.
Ronaldo Navia, the only man up that time. for Chile, and it was cleared away by Bedoya, but rather uncomfortably and rather nervously put into touch. And Francisco Maturana, in his third spell as coach of Colombia, will be pretty pleased with the way things are going in the opening stages in Barranquilla. Penalty from Aristizabal, giving the host nation the lead, and they look very likely to add to that. Hernandez.
How many step overs?
Quite a few. Ivan Lopez. Well, he's managed to deliver. It didn't go out.
I tell you, they just will not be denied, will it? Colombia are full of it. And it's not just, I mean, all round they look a good outfit. At the back defensively, they look solid. And they've got a lot of willing workers in the middle of the park, and up front, obviously, with Victor Aristizabal, they've got a goal scorer.
Hernandez. Well, they really are a team high on confidence at the moment, Colombia, and Chile are rocking. Juan Ramirez, the latest effort.
You just wonder what's went wrong with them in the qualification for the World Cup. Because in the strength of what we've seen in this tournament so far, they look a good outfit.
Yes, they're currently 6th in their qualifying group, just outside of the places that matter, but they're only 2 points behind Uruguay and Brazil, so it is not lost, but they do have a bit of work to do to make it to Japan and South Korea. The top 4 qualify, and the 5th place team goes into a playoff with Australia. 5th place team at the moment is Uruguay. Colombia, though, hoping that a decent Copa America tournament will give them a real lift as they go into the closing stages of that group. Rosales with another dig from distance.
Took a deflection as well. No holding them. Very, very positive play. And there's none of the big stars from the past of the Faustino Asprilias, you know, who's actually been linked with my old club, Mallorca. They're interested maybe in signing him.
Yes, Colombia relying largely on home-based players, like a lot of the teams really in the Copa America for this tournament.
Deportivo Cali is well represented in this particular side, Ian. 5 players here today, but you were talking about Ivan Cordoba, who's playing for Inter Milan. I wonder how he will find Hector Cooper, who I think is an excellent coach next season.
Ramirez. Here's Yepes, who has also caught the eye in this tournament. He plays for River Plate in Argentina, but he's been linked with an Italian side, Parma. Colombia in control. 20 minutes played in Barranquilla. Aristizabal's penalty making the difference, although there's quite a big difference between these two teams at the moment.
It certainly is. It could have been a couple of goals, but I mean, Chile's got to stay firm. They mustn't concede another goal in this half. They've got to try and find a little bit of consistency. They've got to up the tempo as well, and they've got to battle Colombia. And who's to say that they can't get back into the game?
Chile have probably surprised themselves by reaching the quarterfinals. They had a terrible World Cup qualifying campaign, losing 9 out of 13 games so far, and only Venezuela, the South American whipping boys, are keeping them off the bottom of the group. Ronaldo Navia chasing, keeper's come a long way. Calero. Showtime. And it's come all the way through to Murillo, and Grisales stayed still to stay onside, and Murillo sends it across.
Offside.
The flag is up though, and it's not going to count for Colombia.
Ian, I tell you what, they're electric, they really are. Grisales has got some engine, I tell you, he's looking to get in, bursting into the box. We can see clearly from that angle, the linesman's absolutely spot on. What is he, a yard offside? Certainly give the crowd something to cheer about, and they will not sit back. They're going to keep pushing on, looking for more goals, which is great entertainment value.
Well, Murillo certainly looks lively. He's only 23. It's only his fourth cap, but it's a chance for some of the players who don't often get a run out in the international side to shine and to stake a claim for a place in the World Cup qualifying campaign.
Well, that's what we said at the outset of the tournament. There's going to be a lot of names that we've not heard or seen of before, and we're going to be surprised, and I've been pleasantly surprised by what I've seen. There's been some very, very good play in a lot of the games, players that we're not familiar with back in the UK, and now there's some stars of the future. Here's Lopez.
And Lopez is going to get it back, and he's going to get the corner. There were two Chileans quickly on him then. But Colombia really reveling in this. Leading by a goal to nil, but hungry for more, as they seek to maintain their 100% record in the tournament. Hernandez's corner went to Ivan Lopez. Might inadvertently set up Colombia, except that the flag went up.
Chile very quick when the ball was knocked outside the area for the attempted shot. You can see them just starting to sprint out. There's 1, 2, certainly offside at the far post.
Valenzuela up towards Christian Montesinos, who we've seen so much of in this tournament, although not so much in this game. Ramiros leaving it for Fabian Vargas. There go Colombia again. Onside this time. Nearly found its way through to Aristezábal. Pedro Reyes intervened, and just as well for Chile. I think that, well, it would have been a shirt pull had Valenzuela not been able to progress. He then promptly prodded it straight at Ramirez, and Chile weather the storm. That was a good challenge, as it turned out, from Grisales.
He's working tremendously hard. Freddy Grisales up and down this right-hand side flank, causing loads of problems for the Chilean defence.
Grisales plays for Atlético Nacional in Medellin. He's been amongst the goals in games for his country lately. That was rather poorly given away to Galdames, and now Chile making progress with Marco de la Seca, and now Poza. Valenzuela, foul by Ramirez.
It's just that I think it's a feature for me. As soon as the ball's played into any of the Chile players, pressure, close them down, work that first touch. They're just not been allowed to settle in this game at all, Ian, and what, 25 minutes gone, and Colombia's totally dominated. That's a late challenge, and I think another yellow card coming up. It is. Well, totally unnecessary. We're just seeing it coming in. Very, very late challenge. I think it's Fabian Vargas who's got himself in the referee, Senor Jorge Larriondona, his notebook.
So Fabian Vargas joins Chile's number 2, Mauricio Pozo, in the book. There have been 8 red cards in the Copa America so far. I dare say there will be a few more. Everybody jostling for position. Navio is in there, and Reyes coming in as well. But Colombia survive a rare scare in this first half.
For the first time, didn't look as comfortable there. Ball on just on the edge of the 6-yard box. Defenders seemed to be waiting to see if the goalkeeper, Miguel Calero, was going to come and claim it, but a little bit of hesitancy.
Villaseca, here's Montesinos, Galdames, Pozo. Chile desperately trying to get into their stride, and it's taken them a while for sure in this game. Run out by Grisales, who is one of those players that pops up everywhere.
What a great engine. Strong, works back, plays this right-hand side midfield role very, very well.
So Always catching the eye of managers all around the world who will be following the Copa America, looking for a bargain or two. And here he is again. Grisales took that down very well, and he's fed Elkin Murillo. Cross towards Luis Dezardo. Oh, and Vargas denies Hernandez, but once again, Colombia tearing Chile apart.
Great first-time strike from Giovanni Hernandez, and that's good goalkeeping from Sergio Vargas. Quick reflex to get down to the right-hand post.
It's not a bad try, and the Chilean keeper is under severe bombardment at the moment.
I think it was a boxing match here, it would be stopped. They really are pouring under pressure, searching for the second goal, and I think Vargas is happy just to tip that one over the top. And so many outstanding performances from as a team. Collectively, they've looked really good.
Having won the corner, Hernandez will take it. Grisales. Away by Eros Perez, but Chile with nowhere to hide at the moment, nowhere to go, although the free kick has been given in favour of Montesinos. He'll be glad of a little breather here, I think.
He does well, Montesinos. He gets his body in front of Fabian Vargas to win the free kick, and that's what they need. This defence, this overworked defence, needs a little breather.
Eros Perez. Navia and Montesinos waiting for the cross. Pozo coming in, but nothing doing really for Chile.
No, it was good defending from Gerardo Bedoya. I think he played it off, Pozo.
Miguel Calero has only actually participated in friendly matches this year, but a survivor from the last Copa America, which was played 2 years ago in Paraguay, when Chile finished 4th. Murillo just went alongside of Luis Dezardo, and gave Villaseca a chance to mop up.
I can't find a fault in this Colombian side at the minute. The movement's good, really are up for it. I think this is as good a chance as they're ever going to have to win the Copa America again. I think with home advantage, and certainly the confidence is there. And he must be very pleased, the coach, Maturiana.
Well, he's been there, seen it, done it as far as managing Colombia is concerned. His 3rd spell in charge. He actually resigned after the 1998 World Cup in France, when he and his family received a death threat too many, but here he is, back in the job. Murillo. He'll get a free kick. Attention paid to him. He was a little too close from Rojas. Hernandez. Lopez with stacks of time to deliver, although it cannoned off Eros Perez for a corner.
He just needed to get his foot, wrap his foot around that one and hit it in, drive it into the near post, but just total domination. They're flooding forward at every opportunity, and at the moment, Ian, it's just a question of when the second goal for Colombia is going to come.
Giovanni Hernandez trots across to take this corner, winning his 13th cap. Unlucky for some, but not unlucky for Colombia at the moment. Grisales delivers, and Chile really struggling at the moment.
It's good defending from Villaseca. Sandwiched in between the two Colombian players, and another corner kick. We're going to get another in-swinger.
This time, though, it's going to be taken by Murillo. I'm not sure we'll get the next one, though. I think Hernandez could be back on duty.
I was going to say that after that last effort, he won't.
Here is Hernandez. He'll give it to Murillo. Bedoya on the overlap. Oh, he slipped through, and Vargas just did enough to smother it from Yepes, who'd stayed forward from having been up for the corner.
I want to see that pass again. That was with the outside of his right foot from Murillo. I was wondering what he was trying to do, and he was trying to find Yepes, who had made a surging run into the box, and it was almost perfect.
Saka. The official from Uruguay has shown 3 red cards in the 3 World Cup ties he's refereed in the South American qualifying campaign.
I've seen a lot of this little man. He's a good player, Reinaldo Navia, but he's not had a look in. Him and his striking partner, Cristian Montesinos, have been starved of any opportunities, well, any possession really in that final third. But now they've got a free kick. Are we going to see a set play? Are we going to see a direct strike at goal? Certainly looks that way.
Well, Montesinos has proved that he's got a shot at him, that's for sure. Scored a stunner against Ecuador, and he's standing over this free kick. He might just fancy it from this range. Well, there's going to be a bit of a problem if Colombia don't get back.
Somebody's going to get booked.
The referee has oh, the
2 reds.
The red cards have been shown to Pablo Galdames. Pablo Galdames and Murillo have both sensationally been shown a red card.
That is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I'm just saying the ref showed a few red cards in his World Cup games.
3 games and 3 red cards. Well, he's better at that. 4 games and 5 red cards. It's got to be something that was said. It has to be something was said. Must have been pretty strong.
Everyone is shell-shocked inside the Estadio Metropolitano. Pablo Galdames seeing a card to match the colour of his shirt, but he's not the only one going off, with Murillo, who was doing his best to make things happen for Colombia, also walking. Meantime, we might get this free kick taken. And the referee's shout on that has shocked everyone. But Montesinos looks like he fancies it. He does. Cristian Montesinos took a deflection, and in the end that took the sting out of it.
Well, there's going to be even more space on the pitch now with 9 outfield players each. I wonder will we get more goals. I have a feeling we will, Ian.
Here's Hernandez. Mr. Zabal. So nobody on that touchline. I was quite liking the look, even easy for me to say, of Murillo.
You won't see a lot more of him. He was a very willing striker, loads of pace and chased everything, worked tremendously hard, but I've seen the end of him. Incredible, I'm still shocked myself. But this game, at 26 performances against each other, 86 goals. I think there's more goals in this game.
They're always lively affairs, that's for sure, and the red card count in the Copa America has now gone up into double figures.
Certainly has, hit 10.
Here's Cordoba on a forage forward. Now Hernandez. He might go for goal himself if he gets the chance. He did get the chance, but it was promptly snuffed out by Chile, who really haven't had much of a look in this first half. Bedoya, oh dear. It's due to land in a couple of days, isn't it?
I was going to say, he was being a little bit adventurous there. Gerardo Bedoya. Decent left foot, but not that good that he's going to score from, what, 35 yards with that angle. He's another one of the Deportivo Cali players.
Well, I have to say those 2 red cards seemed rather bizarre.
Got to find out what it was about. It must have been something they've said. Because I didn't see anything else, and there was nothing untoward visually that you could say warranted a red card.
Blame it on me for having just mentioned the referee showed those red cards in the World Cup games he did.
Yeah, kiss it there.
Eros Perez for Chile. Well, Murillo will missed the quarter-final if or when Colombia advanced to that stage, of course. And likewise, Pablo Galdames for Chile. And they have this paddling operation that will review the red cards, and it's a really serious offence, as I can't imagine it was for them too. It might be more than one game. Here's Hernandez. Grisales just couldn't take it with him.
Look at the recovery end of Grisales.
Hernandez, Chile are just not in it at the moment, and Colombia fancy another goal. And he wouldn't bet against them getting another before half-time. Vargas having a pop.
Well, I thought this was maybe a free kick. The referee didn't agree. He allowed Juan Carlos Ramirez to win the ball there and continue playing. But Marco Villaseca still smarting from that last challenge.
Villaseca plays with Colo-Colo, one of Chile's leading clubs.
I heard you the first time in.
Nice one, I'll get you for that. He played in the 3-0 win over Brazil last year, famous result in Chile's history, but he hasn't figured that much in the World Cup qualifying campaign. Well, they're all smiles, but certainly the men sent off, Pablo Galdames and Maria won't be. Referee not quite stealing the show in the first half, because Colombia have put on a bit of a show at times.
I don't know, but maybe the sending off is just taking a little bit of the sting out of the game. They're not as eager as they were in the opening, what, 35, 36 minutes, and it's just settling down into a bit of a pattern, which is better for Chile. It'll allow Chile to start getting some possession, maybe get back into this game.
Valenzuela, help on hand from Villaseca. Looking for Navia, but it needs to be a lot better than that. The strikers not getting much service, whereas Colombia, with Aristizábal will break, and now Grisales trying to get in, and a very timely intervention to stop Colombia, but they are sweeping regularly towards the Chilean goal, and Maldonado had to get it right then.
Certainly did. I like the look of this Freddy Grisales. Certainly looks a smashing player. Could have done with a little bit of a better pass.
Lopez trying to bundle his way through, but left himself with a bit too much to do. Giros Perez trying to get himself out of trouble. Lopez sticking close to him.
Oh,
corner.
Well, it's poor for me from Giros Perez, because he had 2 or 3 attempts or chances to actually get rid of the ball, and he wanted to milk it and took another couple of gambles, and the result is he's conceded a corner kick unnecessarily, I've got to say.
Yepes will add a physical presence in the box as Colombia take the corner short, and Hernandez and Grisales not quite combining. Valenzuela to Navia, look how far back he is. Sign of the times for Chile, but promise for them here. Pozo. Montesinos frustrated again, just gave a signal then as if to say, what was that?
I think they have to work overtime, these Chilean players, just to try and stay in the game. Good control as well. He uses the ball well. Giovanni Hernandez gets his body in between the defender and the ball, forces the free kick.
Here's Bedoya. Left it for Ramirez. Lopez. Colombia might rather upset that they're not leading by more than a penalty at the moment. They've been in more or less total control.
They have. That's the only disappointing thing. With so much dominance only winning 1-0. If they go in at half-time 1-0 up, I think the coach, Monterano will be very disappointed, because they've had, what, at least 9, maybe 10 shots on goal. Not all of them on target, I've got to say, Ian, but good opportunities and 1 or 2 wasted.
Juan Ramirez is actually playing on his home ground, the Estadio Metropolitano. Belongs to Atletico Junior, first division side in Colombia, so familiar territory for him. And that was nice from Valenzuela. Now, can Chile come up with something at the end of the half? It's an encouraging run from Valenzuela, but Cordoba doesn't want to be fooled easily or outrun easily.
Say what, showed a good turn of pace. He showed him outside. He had half a yard. Had Valenzuela, and I thought Cordoba did really well.
Rodrigo Valenzuela, that's not a bad corner. Villaseca. Quiroz Perez. Chile perhaps with their best chance of the game. Montesinos couldn't keep it in.
2 players over at the far post, Ian, and a little bit late, Valenzuela sticking that one into the back of the net. But there was 2 players over at the far post. Had the cross been a bit deeper, it would have been better for them, I think, because it would have landed at the feet of Montesinos.
Inside the last minutes of the first half, it's been an eventful first half, although Chile haven't really played much of a part in it, apart from being on the receiving end for most of it. 2 red cards, Pablo Galdames and for Murillo. Now by Rojas on Hernandez.
I'm just thinking 1-0's not enough. You know, you can never be comfortable 1-0 up. I'm sure the coach, Francisco Pacho Maturana, will want that second goal cushion. That's what he'll be telling his players at half-time. Or will they get the second before half-time?
2 minutes of added on time. The free kick goes short in the end from Hernandez. Doya. On a collision course with Pozo. Hernandez. Grisales. Oops, nobody there. But Colombia haven't really been that wasteful in this first half, and Chile might just be thankful to go in. But only 1 goal down, and who knows, there might come up with something here from Valenzuela. Montesinos advancing, too much on it though.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, and honestly I do feel that they should be further in front, Colombia. 1-0 is not, it's a good lead, but it's not great. It means that they're going to have to keep working tremendously hard. They'll want the second goal cushion, and the coach will tell them that. But it's good entertainment, I've got to say. They're pushing forward, they're still not sitting back. They want to score the second goal, and this man in particular has had a very good first half for me, Freddy Grisales.
Vargas, Bedoya, Garcia, the coach of Chile. I think he might have a bit to say at half-time, as they will no doubt plan to try and contain Colombia a little better than they have done in the first half. And here they go again, Hernandez. And Vargas is up there with him, but Pedro Reyes scoops it away. Although the relief will be temporary, because Bedoya gives it to Ramirez, and Colombia with Hernandez slipping it through, and the flag will go up.
Well, to be fair, the linesman's flag went up very, very quickly. Tried to bend the run. Whoa, that was tight, Ian. That is really tight. I'm not sure he was offside. What a gamble that is. Well,
It's half-time in Barranquilla. And the referee from Uruguay, Jorge Arenada, is the centre of attention, showing red cards to Pablo Galdames and to Murillo. Colombia have absolutely dominated, but they only have an Aristizabal penalty to show for their efforts. Half-time, Colombia 1, Chile 0.
Well, that's the situation at half-time. These the scenes as the players begin to take to the field. One of the quirks of the Copa is, after Ecuador's emphatic win earlier this evening, Colombia could in fact end up playing Ecuador in the quarter-finals. It's a strange way, the way it pans itself out. They've already beaten them once, of course. 1-0 Colombia saw off Ecuador. 1-0 it is here as well. Chile's head coach Pedro Garcia was a member of the coaching team that took Chile to the 79 final of the Copa. He needs to draw on all his experience if that's going to happen again. Let's join the commentary team. Gerry Armstrong and first, Ian Crocker.
Welcome back to Barranquilla, where Chile have made a change as they try and turn the tide a little bit in this game. Corrales, who scored against Ecuador in their opening fixture, has come on, and it's no surprise really that they had to make some sort of change. They only trail 1-0 though, and though it might sound a bit bizarre, that's a pretty good scoreline for them, the way they played in the first half, Gerry, only to be 1 down.
I actually think they're very fortunate just to be 1-0 down. Still got a little bit of a lifeline if they can turn the tide at the start of the second half. Obviously the introduction of Corrales, who is a striker, could give them that extra little bit of push forward, because they've not really threatened the Colombian defence. Colombia still to concede a goal in this competition, and I think the coach had to do something. Pedro Garcia had to do something, and at least it's a positive change.
Now I have to say this is interesting, because Colombia have yet to turn up for the second half, and they've already actually been deducted 2 points from the fair play league, because for their last match against Ecuador they were late out onto the pitch as well. They've obviously taken the deduction in the fair play competition rather badly, and have decided to keep everybody waiting again. So I think we could safely say that Colombia, if they carry on like this, might not win the fair play award, but they have made it at last.
Well, coming out a little bit belatedly, but they weren't behind the doors in the first half. Again, I've got to say they were excellent, and the only thing that I was surprised at was the fact that they were only winning the game 1-0. They too are going to make an introduction.
Nelson Becerra is coming on. Young striker whose only previous cap was in a friendly win over Australia. Now it's Aristizabal who's gone off, and I wonder if that might have something to do with the fact that he's on a yellow card.
I agree. I think it's because of the yellow card in, and also, you know, it's a game now. They played really well. He's had a good 45 minutes. He can afford to rest some players, and I think you'll see several more changes being made in the second half. Obviously they'll like to top the group, but they must be quite confident, particularly in the way they played the first half.
Anyway, Colombia, thanks for turning up for the second half. They have made it, but they might well be facing another deduction. They also wanted to start the second half, which would have been quite something, considering they started the first.
If you can get away with it, why not? Retain possession.
Nelson Becerra is on then for Aristizabal, and Ronaldo Navia has gone off for Chile to be replaced by Corrales, and he'll be hoping that he gets a little bit more service and sees a bit more of the ball alongside Montesinos than Navia did.
That's exactly what the problem was. Navia had a quiet game, but I don't feel he got a lot of service. Maybe it'll change this second half here. Let's have a look.
Both teams down at 10 men, remember, after the rather bizarre showing of red cards by the Uruguayan official to Pablo Galdames and to Murillo in the first half, even though they appeared to be swinging very small handbags.
Well, I'm still trying to get over. I've seen the shots again at half-time, and I mean a little bit of pushing and shoving, but nothing untoward, and I think the referee certainly overreacted for me. The players looked absolutely gobsmacked, didn't they, when they were shown the red card?
Becerra wearing number 7, the new boy in the second half, trying to put himself about for the Colombians, who, remember, have a terrible record against Chile in the Copa America, just 1 win. in 11 meetings with them, and that was in 1979. Chile with 7 successes and 3 draws.
Yep, goal scored by Ernesto Diaz.
Ah, Ernesto,
You remember him?
good player. Villaseca will get the free kick.
I knew you wanted to know that, Ian. I just thought I'd tell you.
It's made my day, honestly. Pozo, who's on a yellow card, and with this referee in mind, he better be careful in the second half. Just to remind you that Vargas, number 6 for Colombia.
Tell you what, we better be careful if he's throwing yellow cards out for what we've just seen there.
Oh, it's Pozo's cross, and trying to get in for Chile was the substitute Corrales, but here goes Grisales racing away, and now Hernandez takes over, and he's poked it through to Grisales, and Becara is waiting in the middle. Here he is, going for the spectacular. We saw Chala do that for Ecuador on the opening day, but Becara not able to follow suit.
Well, maybe Grisales could have put the ball in a little bit earlier, but you're right, he's gone for the spectacular. Just feel down this right-hand side, Freddy Grisales is going to cause him a lot of problems.
Becara is doing, trying to do that at the moment, but it breaks down for Colombia, although only temporarily so. Ramirez. Hernandez. Yepes, an impressive defender, and he's not bad either. Cordoba, Inter Milan. Ivan Lopez, skipping past Perez like he wasn't there, but he's about to run into Rojas.
Tell you what, they really do like to get forward. It's business as usual, I think, for Colombia. The half-time chit-chat hasn't detracted from their performance. They're really eager to get the second goal, and I think it's only a matter of time before they do get it.
Ramirez, always going wide. Sergio Vargas's goal. The man playing on his home ground, Juan Ramirez. Montesinos chasing this, with Corrales waiting in the middle, but a cross came with Yepes. Pozo with the throw. Away by Vargas. Colombia surging forward again. Vargas leaves it for Hernandez. Gonzalez waiting.
A bit heavy on that last pass, but they're so good. They've got so much to offer the game here, with quality in both flanks, good pace. Central defence partnership looks very solid. Cordoba and Yepes. Just doesn't seem to be too many failings in this Colombian side.
Colombia have had a pretty decent 2001, even though they aren't quite up with the pace in their World Cup qualifying group. They have won 6 of the 8 games previously played in this calendar year. Their only defeat came in Argentina, no disgrace there, 3-0 in a World Cup qualifier. The damage was done earlier in their qualifying campaign, where they struggled to get results.
A bit too enthusiastic. Gives Pozo the challenge in the free kick. Looking to take a quick one, are they? Looking for 4 in the wall, the goalkeeper. Calero.
First game of the 2001 Copa America, but he played in the 99 version. It's Montesinos, of course. Oh, skimmed off the top of the bar.
He's not happy. He asked for 4 in the wall. There was only 3 in the wall. And you can see why he's upset. It was a good strike, though, from Montesinos. Left foot, round the outside of the wall. Had there been a 4th man there, maybe they wouldn't have been able to do that. Just watching this angle, clips the top of the crossbar. I don't think Calero would have got anywhere near it, Ian.
Copa America going ahead in Colombia, despite security fears, of course. Thousands of police and army are on duty. They've called it the Copa of Peace. Hopefully it's been that way so far. Valenzuela saw his effort snubbed out. Gerry Perez skipped away from Grisales, but then ran into Vaquero, although free kick's been given against the Colombian.
Yeah, just barged him off the ball. A lot of silly free kicks being given away by Colombia now, in the second half, and have to be careful they don't make any silly mistakes and concede a silly equaliser.
Well, looks like Montesinos might fancy it again. And the way this tournament has gone for him, why not? Christian Montesinos, this time though he floats it in and it's away by Yepes. Rojas.
Well, I think it was a poor first touch, we've got to say, from Villaseca. Giving possession away.
Talking about the security problems in Colombia, there was a time around a decade ago when the national side were actually banned from playing at home after a referee was threatened by a gunman. You have to be fairly mad to be a ref anywhere, but in South America you have to be seriously bonkers, that's for sure.
They're a little bit over-passionate about their football.
Montesinos, nice turn, but can't find the target.
Well, I think he's been told by the coach, Pedro Garcia, let's see some shots, let's try and test this goalkeeper, put him under a bit of pressure, and he's had 2 or 3 cracks now in, what, 7, 8 minutes of the second half, and we didn't see him do that too many times in the first half, so it's a lot more positive attitude from Chile. But I just do feel that Colombia have got so many talented players and so much going for them. They should go on and win the game.
Montesinos has actually scored almost as many goals for his country in this competition as he has for his club in the Chilean league this season. His club being Deportes Concepcion. Hardly one of the biggest names in the world, I don't think. Rojas gives it to Pozo. Blocked by Yepes, and Bedoya is there too, but Montesinos trying to put himself about.
Bit of a panic from Fabian Vargas there when the ball arrived just outside the box, and he took a lash at it and gave possession away.
Might be Longan from Gerry Perez. Morales. Hernandez. Grisales is there with him. Colombia advancing neatly. Hernandez just kept it in. Chile, of course, not helped by Ivan Zamorano's retirement from the international scene and an injury to Marcelo Salas. Javier Margas, the former West Ham defender, not involved with the national side anymore either. So they've lost a few big names for this tournament, but then it's a similar story for most. Chance for them to equalise though, and Corrales, and he tried to force his way through. It might have been the presence of Lopez that put him off.
I think you're right, even Lopez does enough to put him off, but I just feel Corrales should have took the shot early in.
Reyes, the captain of Chile. Here's Valenzuela. Not to be confused with Venezuela, who were playing earlier in this stadium.
Well, I don't know if they were playing because they got hammered.
That's 4-0 by Ecuador.
Good run.
Now, a bit of a delayed fall though, wasn't it?
He tried, I think to be fair to him, he tried to stand his feet in. Just the slightest of touches there, knocks the ball away from him. And he's chasing it by Cara, but he ain't going to reach it.
Pozo. Oops. Just away from Corrales.
That was good play, I've got to say, from Ivan Lopez. Just shows you the way 1-0's never enough. You know, you need that cushion. Chile still know they've got a chance to get something out of this game and top the group.
Here's Ramirez. Future does look pretty good for Colombia. Their youngsters have won the Toulon tournament for the under-21s, the last 2 occasions. Here's Picara. Now Vargas. Colombia still with a solitary goal, even though they've had by far the better of this game. Ivan Lopez, useful for them at one end a moment ago, trying to do something for them at the other. Maybe breaks down rather miserably, but maybe it's not all over for them yet. Grisales involved, as he usually is.
The thing about Grisales is if he makes a mistake and loses possession, he works really hard to get back and get the ball back again, and that's what he did on that occasion, and eventually won the throw-in for them.
And after their first half domination, Colombia will be kicking themselves that they merely have a Aristezábal's penalty to show for it all.
Marco Villaseca's looking to swap shirts early, isn't he?
Flag was up. Some of these Chilean players were at the Olympics last year in Sydney and did quite well. Finished third, beat the USA in the playoff. Zamorano was very much their goal hero there, although Navia, who's been subbed in this game, also weighed in with a few. Hernandez. Lopez. Vargas. Free kick. Grisales. Feeling the force of that challenge. But he has emerged as one of the men to watch out for in the 2001 Copa America.
Certainly impressed today. I don't think we've heard the end of him. Oh, this Colombian side, well organised. Playing in front of their home crowd.
Hernandez leaves it for Grisales. In his 23rd cap. I'm looking to get it back again, but the flag goes up.
He's a yard offside. Very well rehearsed, this Chilean side. Very quick to get up on the edge of the 18-yard box and call him off.
Valenzuela cut out by Yepes. Here's Vargas. Lopez. Ooh. Quickly closed down by Valenzuela. Don't think Cordoba is too keen to have it there.
Just a little bit of a lapse in concentration there from Ivan Lopez and put Cordoba in trouble.
Hour played in Barranquilla. Colombia leading Chile through Aristezábal's first half penalty, which means he's now scored in every game of the tournament. But he was also taken off at half-time. He's on a yellow card. As indeed is Cordoba at the back, so if he was to get another one, he would miss the quarter-final. Ramirez leaves it for Bedoya. Colombia quite high in the FIFA rankings, for those of you that think they're worth anything. Oh, hello. People going walkies.
Hey, Fabian Barthez, eat your heart out.
Ramirez, more on the FIFA rankings in a moment, because I know you can't wait to hear where they are. Hernandez. Oh, nearly got it back to Bedoya. Pozo cut it out. Colombia 18th in the FIFA rankings. Chile coming at number 35. But I'm told the new list of FIFA rankings is out tomorrow. You'll hardly be able to contain your excitement with that, Gerry, will you?
Can't wait. Wow. I'm more excited about the opening fixture in the Spanish Football League game, which was sent earlier. Real Madrid against Valencia. What a game that'll be on the 25th of August. And you can watch it on Sky Sports.
Free kick for Chile. Wasn't the best of kicks in the end, and Colombia were queuing up to clear.
Just going through an uncertain period now, Colombia, aren't they? Because they've sort of settled down, and I think they're thinking, well, 1-0's enough, but it's not enough. I just feel that, you know, there's bound to be a spell in this game where Chile have 1 or 2 opportunities. Now, they had one early on with Corrales, and I think the coach also, Pedro Garcia, has thought, well, we got to put a little bit more pressure on this Colombian defence. It looks like he's going to take Valenzuela off.
He is indeed, and coming on in his place is Manuel Neira, who did quite well at the Olympics last year as the Chileans won bronze. 10 league goals to his name. And Chile could do with a bit of firepower now. Neira actually played last year for Las Palmas in Spain, although we both watched a fair bit of Spanish football between us, Gerry, and neither of us can remember him.
He didn't feature in the side. Had a good season, Las Palmas.
He's come back home anyway. Neira now appropriately plays for Union Española.
Just a little shove. Just think the Colombia need to assert themselves again Ian, for another 10 or 15 minutes, and that might bring them the second and important goal.
It's a long run up, and it's gone just wide, but it was really a bit of a test for Sergio Vargas from our man, that man, Grisales.
Well, I think Sergio Vargas will tell you, don't worry lads, I had it covered, but it was about 6 inches past the post. Too close for comfort.
Colombia haven't done much at the Copa America since finishing 3rd in 1995. All the final exits since then. But real hope and real belief that the host nation can advance and maybe win this famous competition, the oldest international tournament in the world, for the very first time. Substitute Neira involved, and the other sub Corrales involved as well. Pozo. Neira. Hernandez. Becerra. And didn't really connect properly, which is a shame for Hernandez.
Tell you what, the build-up was smashing as well. You know, the diagonal ball from Freddy. Grisales finding the substitute, Becerra, and then the lay back in. He's got to hit the target there, and I think Giovanni Hernandez will be disappointed.
Montesinos. Queiroz Perez. Chile suddenly have a little bit of hope here. Certainly not beyond them with just the single goal in it, although Hernandez will try and put it beyond them now. Becerra making the run. Oh, and the keeper came a long way out, and he might be caught here. Oh, but it's way off target in the end at the second time of asking. Becerra.
Well, good pace he showed, good goalkeeping though, we got to say. Sergio Vargas stood up, spread himself, The second attempt from Bakira was poor. But now maybe as Chile are starting to push forward, Ian, they're going to get caught.
Morales, it's a pretty open game, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's a calculated risk from Pedro Garcia. He knows they're losing 1-0. He's made the changes. He's brought on Corrales. He's brought on Neira, and they're looking to get back into the game, and they're going to take a few chances. And as they're taking chances, then it's leaving a little bit of space at the back, and maybe Colombia can capitalise on that and get the second goal.
Maldonado just beat Hernandez to it. Yepes fancies that. Strapping defender for Colombia. Pozo. Remember, a draw and Chile win the group.
He's been superb tonight, Yepes. Hasn't missed a ball in the air. Very aware of everything around him. And his cover play has been excellent as well. Ian, I tell you, he's a good player.
Freddy Gonzalez. Colombia with 5 World Cup qualifying games left, 2 points off Uruguay and Brazil. So by no means out of it, but not quite as in it as much as they would like to be. Another change being made by the Colombians. They're going to take off Fabian Vargas, and they're going to bring on, as they usually do in this Copa America, Eduardo Arriaga, who is playing on his home ground. He turns out for Atletico Junior here. He won a penalty in the first match against Venezuela, but he too's got to be careful. He's on a yellow card, so if he gets another, he wouldn't be able to come on as a sub in the quarterfinal.
The man he's replacing was booked in the first half as well, so...
And Cordova at the back, also on a yellow, so they've got to be careful. Ivan Lopez has had his moments tonight, but that wasn't one of them.
No, he's done okay at the back. He's made some decent challenges. He made that very important challenge on the substitute Corrales, but does get forward and has a good turn of pace. Oh, that was almost a fantastic ball.
Maldonado. Eros Perez. Pozo will get the free kick. The substitute Arriaga just caught him. Perez, too high for Montesinos. Corrales nearly in, but Cordoba sorting it out and skipping away from Corrales. Arriaga. Here's Ramirez, club teammate of Arriaga. Gonzalez. Hernandez, back to Gonzalez. Nice move. Oh, but Arriaga foiled by the flag. He says he wasn't.
It's going to be another tight one. I'd like to see that. Well, he's right. The right linesman's right. He is offside. He should have looked along the line and held his run. He's a yard offside, and the substitute has let them down there, Arriaga. It looks as if Gonzalez has moved more into the middle now, Ian, from that right-hand side touchline berth he had. And that's with the departure of Fabian Vargas.
The playing surface here, like the others we've seen in Colombia, not great. I don't think they bother with the Groundsman of the Year award in Colombia, so no.
He's just come on there, Corrales, and it looks as if he's picked up a knock in.
Sort of night for Chile, really. Bedoya. Ramirez. Arriaga. Bedoya's ahead of him. Hernandez. Well, when you consider their first half efforts, they really are making hard work of it now, and Chile have lost Corrales. He was only on the field for a few minutes. He's been replaced by Rodrigo Núñez, who plays for the Santiago Wanderers in the Chilean capital. Only made one fleeting appearance in their World Cup qualifying campaign, but a bit of a blow for Pedro Garcia that he's lost Corrales so soon. Arriaga taking on Pozo, gone past him as well. And Hernandez! Oh, he set himself up superbly, Giovanni Hernandez, but then dragged it wide.
And he did all the hard part, and then the simple part where he's just got to strike it and hit the target from, what, 7 yards. First touch into the box is brilliant, and then he's got to hit the target and he fluffs it. What a great opportunity. Firing blanks in front of goal at the moment, Colombia, and some good approach play.
Confirmation of that change then, with Corrales not lasting long. Replaced by Núñez. Here's Villaseca. Maldonado pushing forward now. Pozo. And, well, Group A reaching its conclusion tonight. Tomorrow it's the turn of Group B, the final games in that group. And the first one is Peru against Mexico. And that's followed by those boys from Brazil who are up against Paraguay. It's going to be an intriguing end to that group, and you can see it all right here. Now Colombia taking off Hernandez, and on comes Molina, who is winning his 5th cap for them. He actually scored on this ground not so long ago in a warm-up game for this tournament, when Colombia played the local team, Atletico Junior, beat them 3-2 in their last game before the Copa America began. Arriaga has got the better of Reyes. And Becerra coming in, made a mess of it, and they are squandering chance after chance, Colombia.
Certainly are. I can't believe the opportunities they've created now in the last 5 minutes. 2 clear-cut opportunities, and that one is spooned over the top by Elson Becerra. What a great chance. I wonder, will they regret that, Ian? Certainly will if Chile equalise.
That came so soon after the effort from Hernandez, and the coach obviously didn't take too kindly to Hernandez missing his opportunity, because he took him off straight afterwards to be replaced by Molina.
Another card on Arriaga.
And that means he won't be able to play a part in the quarter-final. It's his 2nd yellow card of the tournament. So the man who's been a bit of a serial sub for Colombia of late won't be coming off the bench for the quarter-final, as Chile tried from distance, and it was, of course, who else but Christian Montesinos.
Shoot on side, isn't it, for Montesinos? He might get lucky with one, and then I think Colombia will regret the chances they've squandered.
A quarter of an hour remaining in Barranquilla, and it's not as comfortable as it should have been for Colombia. The trailing leg just caught Molina there, the trailing leg of Núñez. Arriaga then, who won't be allowed to play in the quarter-final.
I don't think he would have been in the original lineup anyway in the quarter-final, Ian, but there's every chance he would have come on as a sub, as you said, but that won't happen now.
Well, they're also without another striker in Murillo, of course, who's been shown a red card in this game, along with Chile's Pablo Galdames. In rather mysterious circumstances there, didn't seem to be much in it, but the Uruguayan referee suddenly brandished red cards after those two had a little squabble, and and that took the red card count in the 2001 Copa America up to 10. 10 in 14 games, which is a bit of probably a South American average, actually.
It probably is right, actually. You're right. It's usually just under 1 per game, but it can change very quickly. This game certainly has changed as well. I thought Chile would have been out of sight. Now Colombia would have been 2 or 3-0 up, Ian. It's still very interesting.
Arriaga tracked by Rojas, struggling to keep it in. Maldonado, the 21-year-old, of whom great things are expected in the future. He's not doing too badly in the present. Rodrigo Núñez to Pozo. Núñez. Perez. Maldonado waiting to receive. Lifted over the top for Montesinos, but the goalkeeper Calero alert to the threat, and a decent throw as well to Grisales.
Good distribution.
Molina. The nearest square of him, and he will use him.
Kept possession well, Colombia.
Arriaga ready to have a run at Pozo. Pedro Reyes comes across as well. Here's Bedoya. Ramirez. And Becerra trying to nick him around the back. Colombia have a corner.
Tell you what, it's good defending there from Maldonado. That certainly would have put Becerra in. Good possession there, Ian, as well. It must have been, what, 13 or 14 passes for Colombia. Patient, tried down the right, moved across, went down the left, came back, and then the incisive pass, looking for the run of Elson Becerra.
Mauricio Molina with this Colombian corner. It's going to come back to him. Molina, with support available, he's got it back. And Molina, there are plenty waiting, and he decided to go for glory himself, and his teammates will be furious with him.
He's hit the post, Ian, and he had 3 players on the edge of the 6-yard box begging for it to be pulled back, and look at that, off the post. I think might even hit a defender as well.
But if Colombia let this one slip,
they will kicking themselves. They really will. So many chances.
Grisales, they just can't quite finish Chile off. Montesinos lost out. Here goes Arriaga. Oh, Arriaga couldn't quite smuggle it through.
I think he spotted the run of Becerra and tried to slot it in between the last two defenders here. Lovely little shimmy there. I'll tell you what, and he's bought it as well, hasn't he? Pedro Reyes.
Well, as we enter the last 10 minutes, it remains 1-0 to Colombia. It's been a pretty convincing performance from them, apart from when it comes to finishing. Núñez. Reyes. Chile have better goal difference than Colombia as well, so if they were to sneak a late equaliser, they would win the group.
Certainly, well, that's the sad side of it, because honestly it should be so far in front at the moment. Colombia should be no chance for Chile at all. But what with 8.5, 9 minutes left to go in, they're still in with a shout.
Ramirez unusually has lost out to Nunez. Here's Pozo. All of a sudden they're a little nervous, they're a little anxious, the Colombians, not just the players but the majority of the fans here, and Montesinos, I dare say, might fancy it from this distance.
Yeah, Juan Carlos Ramirez coming in with a late challenge and lifts Maldonado and gives away the free kick, and he's there again, Ian Montesinos. He fancies it once again, that famous left foot of his. Well, once again the goalkeeper sent 4, he wants 4 in the wall. Will he get 4 this time? Cuatro.
He has got 4. The referee from Uruguay making sure they've gone back. Here comes Christian Montesinos, but not really too much of a problem for Calero.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit further out there. He did hit the target, but Calero was well aware where it was going to go.
Gonzalez steaming in. Here's Rojas. Well, it'll certainly be the great escape if Chile get something out of this game. Certainly no one's leaving early from the Estadio Metropolitano in Barranquilla tonight. The host nation had been the dominant force, but only a penalty from Aristizabal in the first half, separating the sides.
I wonder if that poor finishing will prove crucial, Ian, as the competition progresses, because, you know, a lot of these teams don't create many opportunities. If you get 3 or 4 clear-cut chances, you've got to put 1 or 2 of them away, and they haven't done that tonight. Colombia, they've had loads of chances, been the best side on the park, but haven't killed the game off.
Here's Bedoya. As it stands at the moment, Colombia are going to win the group. Pozo is down at the moment. I don't really think there was much in that. He was looking for a free kick, but the referee wasn't interested, was he? Unbelievable. Exchange of words between Pozo and Bedoya. Threatens to get a little nasty.
Well, this referee, you don't want to do any pushing and shoving. Oh.
Well, that's Cordova, who's on a yellow card in the tournament, remember. He certainly doesn't want to. Not too interested in showing cards here, mind you. That's quite surprising after the red ones that he branded in the first half. Show off.
Good shot.
Here's Molina. Colombia, if they hang on and win the group, will face one of the teams that finished third, as the top 2 in each group go through, and the 2 best placed third teams. Grisales. Not quite sure if the keeper had that covered too greatly.
He didn't seem too bothered about it, but that's close, and that's a foot outside the post. Had a quiet spell now the last 10-12 minutes, not seen as much of Freddy Grisales, and I think he's been a very dominant player in, what, the previous 70-75 minutes of the game.
At the moment, Chile are going to finish second in the group. That could possibly see them land a quarter-final with Brazil, although I say that very tentatively, because, of course, there's lots to be sorted out yet. Anything can happen, and it's all so confusing at this stage. It's best to wait and see what does happen. Montesinos away towards Pozo. Maybe Chile have got something left in them yet. That is going to be a free kick. And the foul by Molina, and I dare say it'll be the cue for Montesinos to try again.
Yeah, but this boy Pozo goes down at the drop of a hat. Have a look at the theatrics of that. I do think he's trying to get the free kick, and that is a lot closer. And with Montesinos' left foot, he will definitely be looking and fancying this one. And watch Pedro Reyes as well. He usually goes on the end of the wall and tries to pull the last man on the wall out for Montesinos to curl one round wickedly with his left foot. There he is coming into the wall now, Pedro Reyes.
Right on cue.
Right on cue.
He's heard your instructions.
He's done it the last 2-3 free kicks.
Once again, Christian Montesinos is going to go for goal. Just over, but he's certainly proved to be a real talent in this tournament.
He has. I don't think we've seen the end of him. Not testing the goalkeeper though. Wall does its job.
Montesinos with 3 goals already, although, as we mentioned, it might go down to 2 if the video panel decide that his strike against Venezuela should be deemed an own goal. And you never quite know which way those panels are going to go on those sort of decisions. Rosales once again trying to get Colombia going as they move in for the kill. Oh dear, just away from its intended target by Mauricio Molina.
More chances, doesn't hit the target. It's gone for the power, forgets about the accuracy, Molina, and they've wasted and squandered too many chances to recount, Ian. It's just been crazy from Colombia's point of view.
Here's Nunes. If Chile were to snatch an equaliser, it would go very, very quiet in Barranquilla. The host nation completing their group games here before moving on to pastures new. Rosales, Becara, and Molina and Arriaga were both waiting for some sort of pullback or pass, but Becara couldn't quite provide it.
Good defending though. Pedro Reyes was the defender who came across and made the very important challenge. Inside the area, he had to get it right in. If he misses the ball, penalty kick. And there's Pozo and Arriaga making it up in the penalty area as well.
Colombia, as you can see, not committing men forward for the corner at all. With a 1-0 lead in the dying moments of this Group A decider. Referee's played a decent advantage there.
Not too happy, is he?
Nunes. Interesting break this from Chile. Maldonado. He was left with a bit too much to do, really. But Colombia shouldn't be in the position of having to hang on here.
I know, it's ridiculous. This is what's this challenge here? And you can see Villaseca afterwards, he gets up. He's not too happy about the challenge from Elson Becara. And he tells him so.
Macherana, the Colombian coach, hoping to lead his team to glory in the Copa America. It would be quite fitting if he did it as well. Veteran coach in his 3rd spell in charge. Pedro Garcia, though, the man in charge of Chile, will progress as well. He was actually involved in the Chilean setup when they reached the final in '79 in this tournament. Two minutes of added on time in Barranquilla, and a nervous end for the host nation Colombia. Pozo.
This will only be the 2nd time they've actually beaten them if they hang on, Ian. That's why it's nervous. The record against Chile's not too good.
No, the bogeymen of Chile are coming at Colombia again. Poor centre from Pozo that time, though. Saka. Oh, the keeper was scrambling across. Calero. That's how close it was. Nunes let fly.
Well, what a chance. Good left foot. He doesn't have to get hold of it. And you can see the goalkeeper scrambling. That's only a foot past the post, Ian. And Calero knew it was close.
Seconds remaining. Colombia hanging on, and their goalkeeper in no great hurry. There is Pedro Garcia, who took over from Nelson Acosta earlier this year. Acosta, a pretty tough act to follow as well. He'd done a very good job. But Chilean football has been in a bit of decline lately. 5 defeats in a row coming into the Copa America, but they're going to be in the quarterfinals. Arriaga's going to be in the box now. Oh, what a strike from Arriaga! And Colombia took their time, but they have finally finished off Chile, and they finished them off in style too. Arriaga makes it Colombia 2, Chile 0, and the host nation, much to the delight of the majority in Barranquilla, are going to win their group.
And they deserve to win the group. Now, this guy's had 3 chances. This has got to be the hardest chance of the lot, with Pedro Reyes pulling at his shirt. What a finish, top corner, super strike from Arriaga. And although he won't be playing in the quarter-final, he certainly made his mark on this game, Ian.
Suspended for the last 8 after his second yellow card in this game, but he's made a significant contribution to the Colombian cause, and that was the last kick of the contest as well. And what a kick it was. Some strike from Arriaga, and it confirms Colombia as winners of this game and winners of this group. It finishes in Barranquilla, Colombia 2, Chile